Hi guys, welcome back to the Makeup Hunter. In today's video I am going to be getting my Shop My Stash done for the month of May. I can't believe we're on May already. So in the video I'm going to be briefly talking about the products that I used throughout April, share some of the looks that I did throughout the month using the products, and we'll also go to my makeup collection and pick out the new products that I want to use for the month of May. So if you're interested in seeing all my thoughts on my April Shop My Stash items and picking the products for May, then please keep watching. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate everybody that subscribes. Give me a like and hit that notification bell to be reminded on the rare occasions that I upload to this channel. Okay guys, so before I turn the camera around and focus on the products, I thought I would just do a little bit of a quick recap. So throughout the month of April I was doing my first Shop My Stash, well, my first sort of Shop My Stash following a new formula. I have picked out a makeup bag worth of products that I will focus on for the month of April, and I was doing a themed Shop My Stash. So my theme for the month of April was Juicy Fruit Makeup of the Day, and it was focusing on looks inspired by like cocktails and fruit drinks. So I also set myself a challenge to wear makeup 14 times in April. Because I am not working and because of the pandemic, not going out, I have been wearing makeup very rarely, but I've still been bringing a lot of new makeup into my collection. So I wanted to set myself a goal to wear it 14 times so I could get a real good use out of all the products in my stash, and to also start giving my collection some love instead of constantly bringing new products into my collection. I'm also doing a low buy, which I have a video up of on my channel already. And the rule that I set myself was I could only use the products in my Shop My Stash bag. I also have this makeup bag which I put in any new products. So at the start of April, because it was before my low buy began, this bag was full to the brim of new products. I haven't really added to it other than I had 2 Melt Cream blushes and 2 eyeshadow palettes from BH Cosmetics. They were the only sort of items that I added to the collection since the beginning of April. I've also added yesterday my items that I got from Beauty Pie. If the video isn't up already, I have a Beauty Pie haul coming up very soon. These products were purchased on the 26th of March, so don't count in my low buy, but I just hadn't actually used them or added them to my collection. So there are a few items still in the new products bag that I haven't tried yet, which what I've been doing is, as I've used a product, fully got to grips with how I feel about it, I was either adding it to my Shop My Stash bag or just putting it away into my collection to use at another time. I actually only put 2 items into my Shop My Stash bag that were different from when I've selected the items from the newness. The rest of it was just put into my collection. I'll just keep working at this. any items that I get new, I'll put in here and just continue doing what I've been doing throughout April, because it's a good way. It means that I'm not putting anything into my collection that I haven't tried, which was the problem that I was finding. I was buying a lot of new makeup, putting it away and never touching it. So there's a lot of makeup in my collection that is brand new, still in the boxes and never been used, and I wanted to try and get away from that. So that's the new stash bag, and then there's obviously my monthly Shop My Stash bag. So this is the last look in my April Juicy Fruits Makeup of the Day challenge. This is Banana Daiquiri. I didn't have many yellows in my collection, so this is more sort of more of a neutral look, and I've been craving neutral shadows, so I couldn't help but add a little bit of a brown wing, like a shadow wing. But I still think it fits with the theme. I'm still loving this makeup. I've really enjoyed doing this Shop My Stash, and I'm so glad that I decided to give it another go and change the way I was doing things from when I did it towards the end of last year and the beginning of this year. This way works so much better for me, and I've thoroughly enjoyed using the products. There are some that I'm going to be quite sad to put back into my collection, but I'm also dying to get into some newer products and to start my new challenge, which for the month of May is going to be cottage garden themed makeup. So I have thrown some wild cards in there and some sort of the things that you'd expect to find in a cottage garden. So for instance, there is like roses, poppies, and then wild cards like bumblebees and water feature. So I've got all of the information on my themed makeup challenges will be on my Instagram account, which is at @the_makeup hunter. I post all of my looks on my Instagram, and I have a highlight reel of all 14 of the looks. For the month of May, I'm actually wanting to push myself a little bit further, and I've added an extra day in, so I'm hoping to do 15 looks throughout the month of May. So what I'm going to do now is turn the camera around. We'll look at what was in my stash for April. I'll just talk briefly a little bit about each of the products, and I've also kept a record of how much I've used each product, how many times I've used each product. So as I got towards the end of the month, if I hadn't used a product, or I'd only perhaps used it once, I tried to incorporate it in a look to get a little bit more use out of it. So that was a lot of talking. Let's get to the actual fun part. Please excuse the bare mattress. I'm actually in the middle of doing a big clean in my bedroom, but I wanted to get this video filmed. So let's get into the bag. So these are all the products that I've been using throughout April. First of all, I'll just briefly explain this section. So this is where I keep things like a lighted mirror, my colour switch, a little mixing palette, my powder puff, and I've also taken out my beauty sponges, which I'm about to give a deep clean, ready for the next month. So under here is my Complexion Products, so let's go through these first. So the item that one of the items that I actually added from my new Shop My Stash new product bag was the Milani Prime Perfection. This is just a deluxe sample. I can't speak today. So I added this in here just to sort of get some good use out of it, and I think I'm going to keep this one in for next month. I've also got my SPF. This is by a brand called Heliocare, and it's a tinted SPF 50, and again I'm going to be keeping this in for the next month. The MAC Studio Fix Fluid and the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick. Both of these are in my project pan, and I'll be keeping these in as well as the rest of my project pan items just to get them used up. Same goes for the MAC Strobe Cream in Pink Light. That's in my project pan, so that will be going back in. And then I have these two concealers from Revolution. They're the Conceal and Define concealers. I've got the shades C1 and C9. C9 is in my project pan. It's not my shade, and I was mixing it with C1, but the last couple of times that I've done my makeup, I've actually tried C9 on its own, and it does actually work. It doesn't give me the brightening, but because it's got a peachy undertone to it, it does cancel out the blueness under my eyes. So as it's in my project pan, it's going to be staying in, but I am going to put C1 back and roll in another concealer. Another project pan item is my Benefit Hoola Quickie Contour. Absolutely love this contour product. I use it like a cream bronzer. One of my favourite cream bronzing products in my collection, and I'm not sorry that I'm going to be keeping it in. Then I have my paint pot, my matte paint pot in the shade Laying Low. I thought this had dried up, so I smushed it all up, and it's still working fine. I am going to keep this one in. I don't have many eye primers in my collection, so I'm going to keep this one in. I'm also going to keep in this eye primer from Urban Decay. This is the shade Sin. It's like a shimmery one, and I've been absolutely adoring using this, so I'm going to keep that in as well. Then I've got my Primark Glow setting spray. This is an illuminating setting spray. It has shimmer pigment in it. I have a few other setting sprays like this in my collection, so I'm going to give this one a rest and roll in one of those instead. This is just my lip balm, so that's going to stay in. My sectioning clip, plural. Mascaras. These two I am going to be keeping in because I have just 3 mascaras open at the moment, these 3, but for the last sort of several times that I've been doing my makeup, I've been just using these 2, so I think I'm going to put this one back into my collection and just keep using these until they're gone, and then roll this one back in. Eye pencils. I've used all of these eye pencils at least once. The one that I've probably got the most use out of is the green one. I've also used Fashionista from Morphe a couple of times, and Duck from MAC. So yeah, I'm going to be putting all of these back. My eyebrow pencil from Makeup Revolution in the shade Medium Brown. I've enjoyed using this. I don't always use an eyebrow pencil, but I have enjoyed using it, but I'm going to put it back because I want to use something else. Then I've got my 3 Super Shock shadows from Colourpop. The one I use the most is the white shade for brow bone and inner corner highlight. I have used both of these at least once, but I didn't actually get as much use out of these as I thought I would. I had mainly like pinky toned looks in my challenge, so these didn't get as much love as I thought they would. My Got To Be glued eyebrow. This is a hair spiking wax, but I use it for my brows. Gonna be keeping this one in. There's so much of it. I'm never gonna run out of it, but I am just gonna keep it in because some days this is all I like to use in my brows. Then we've got face products. This powder, this Inglot powder, this brightening powder is actually in my project pan. This one isn't, but I actually haven't touched this all month, but obviously this is going to stay in because that one's in my project pan. My Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Before this shot my stash, I had barely touched this. I've had it a long time and barely used it, but I have actually enjoyed using it this month. I've used it, I think I've used it about 10 times this month, and I have been enjoying it. I've mainly been using this shade as like a bronzer, and then on days where I've wanted more of a contour, I've used this one, but I am going to be putting that back into my collection. I'll just briefly talk about these big palettes so I can get them out of the way. So the Morphe X Jacqueline Hill Ring the Alarm palette. This was going very unloved in my collection and was sort of on the chopping block, but I have really enjoyed using this palette. In my video where I did my beauty pie haul, and also the intro to the part 2 of my eyeshadow palette collection, I was doing a sangria inspired look, and I used these 2 colours and absolutely loved how that look came out. So yeah, really enjoyed that. My only highlight palette that I've been using this month is the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Nicole Guerrero palette. I've used every shade in this palette this month, and I've used it all but the once I used another item from my new stash products, but I've used it every other time. So I've used it like 13 times and I've really enjoyed it, but I'm going to put it back. The product that's got the most love in my collection is my Colourpop It's All Good palette. I've used this pretty much every time I've done my eyeshadow, even if it's just for these transition shades. In today's look, I've used this shade Carefree, this one Sunbelt, then I've used Goal Getter for my wing, and then I've got Heart to Heart on the middle of my lid, and then inner corner is Happy Go Lucky. So yeah, I've really enjoyed using this. It was sort of like all my Colourpop palettes, it was going sort of forgotten, and I'm glad that I pulled it into this stash because I've got some great use out of it. Then back to face products, my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. This is in my project pan, so it's going to stay in. I also put in this MAC Prep and Prime Loose Setting Powder. I use this a lot towards the beginning of the month, but towards the end of the month I've actually only been using powder under my eyes, and I've been using my project pan items. So I got a lot of use out of this at the beginning of the month, but not so much at the end, and I am going to be putting this back. My L'Oreal Life's a Peach blusher. Really love this blush. Used it quite a few times, but it's going back. All of my blushes are going to be going back. I also had this Chanel one. Used this a couple of times. Really enjoyed it. And the same with my Milani Berry More. I absolutely love the Milani blushes. And I really enjoyed using this one. And I absolutely have fallen in love with this blush this month. This is one that my mum gave me, and it's just a beautiful purpley pink, and it just looks so beautiful on the cheeks. It makes you look really healthy, so I've really enjoyed using that. And then lip products, this is just a lip scrub, so that's going to stay in. And then all of my lip products are going to be going back. The only item that I added in and kept in from my shop, my stash of new products, was this L'Oreal lipstick. This is in the shade Magnetic Coral. I used it once and added it in because I thought I would use it more, but I did only use it that once, so it didn't really need to stay in. But that's going to be going away into my collection. The lipsticks that I've absolutely loved this month, as I knew I would, are my Dior Addict Stellar Halo Shine. I've used this one in the shade Artist Star probably the most. This is the one I've got on today. I absolutely love these because they're like a sheer but impactful balm formula, and I like to use these just sort of blotted onto the lips. This is the shade Dior Celestial. This was one my mum gave me, and it's a lovely like blackcurrant shade. I used the Colourpop Luxe gloss in the shade Check-In quite a few times, but we'll be putting that back. I'm not a gloss person, so it was good to have one in my stash bag to sort of force me to use it, and I did use it quite a few times. On the days that I didn't fancy much colour, I used the gloss. Absolutely adore both of my Fenty Mademoiselles. This is the shade Single. Oh, it's all falling on the floor. I had this as like my nude option. I used this a couple of times, really enjoyed it. And this shade I used in my last video, the beauty pie haul and also the intro to my eyeshadow part 2. This is the shade Dragon Mummy, and this made me feel so sassy. I want to pick up some more of these shades. I have got a few of them, but I want to get a couple more in some slightly different colours. My lip liners, use these quite a few times. I was glad that I chose the colours that I did because they were just perfect for what I needed, but I'm going to be putting them all back. And then lastly, I had my 2 MAC lipsticks. I had the shades Merange and Saigon Summer. I used Merange only once, which is a shame. I was hoping that I'd use it more, but I really did enjoy wearing it. Like the Dragon Mummy, it made me feel really sassy. And then I used Saigon Summer a couple of times. I quite like, even though it looks quite bright, this is quite a sheer formula and it looks really nice, like blotted onto the lips like the Dior lipsticks. So that's everything. I'm going to put this all away now and then take you over to my collection and we'll pick next month's products. So first of all, I am going to start with Complexion Products, which are in here. This is my top drawer with all my foundations and things in. Oh, down. There you go. You stay standing up, lass. Okay. So I've got one primer. I've got my little Milani primer. I've also got my MAC strobe cream, but I really want to get some use out of my Glossier Future Dew, so I'm going to put that in. I also want to get some use out of my RMS Beauty Uncover Up foundation. As we are going into the more warmer months, I'm going completely away from cream products and like matte products and into dewy, glossy, wet looking skin, and I think this will be ideal, especially with the Glossier Future Dew. I'm conscious that I've already got 2 foundations in my stash, which are my project pan items, so I don't want to add too much. So I think I'm just going to, actually no, I want a real sheer formula as well, so I'm going to put in my Glossier skin tint as well. I think I want to put my Weleda Skin Food in there as well because my skin's been particularly dry lately. I got a bit of sunburn and I'm a bit sort of flaky, so I may not use this, but I do want to put it in just in case. Concealer. I want to use my Glossier Stretch Concealer. I've not really used any of my Glossier products really since I got them, so I want to get some use out of them, and I think that's all I'm going to take from there. Next we have cream, bronzers, blushes and powders. This is where I want to take a few items from because I'm really into, at the moment, my cream, blushes and bronzers. So let's do powder first of all. I want to get some use out of this Bare Minerals powder. This is like a really shimmery loose powder, so I think I want to pop that in. And I think my Urban Decay pressed powder, I've got quite a big pan in this, so I want to expand that a little bit. And this is where everything falls over. Cream products, so definitely want to put in my Danessa Myricks Essentials palette. This is like cream, bronzers, contours, and a couple of the shades can be used for blush, so I want to put those in. Then, oh god, everything's falling over. I didn't learn my lesson from last time. I haven't got myself a makeup bag to put everything in. Do I want another cream? No, I don't want another cream bronzer because I've got my Hoola Quickie contour and I've got that palette. So that's enough. Oh, I want to take this, my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. I want to try and get some use out of that. And then I'm doing cottage garden theme, so there's going to be like a lot of pastels. So I want to sort of reflect that in my blush choices. So let's take Mini Me from Colourpop. I hope this footage is going to be okay because of the lighting. Let's also take Nars Orgasm. And let's take a nude. Let's take this Glossier in the shade Dusk. And then I also think I'm going to pop this Danessa Myricks Colour Fix in the shade Carrot Top in. Not entirely sure what I'm going to use it for, but I could use it as blush, I could use it on my lips, I could put it on my eyes, so we'll put that one in. And I think that's going to be it for this drawer. Okay guys, I'm really sorry, but I've had to switch around the filming setup. I was really struggling filming those last few sections. My stomach, back and hips were absolutely killing me. I didn't think I was having a high pain day today, but now I am. You may hear it in my voice. My voice is a little bit shaky and probably was very shaky in the previous two bits that I filmed. So I'm really sorry. I know this isn't my whole collection all together, which I know is part of the fun of these videos, but what I've done is I've pulled some drawers out, brought them to my bed, and I'm gonna sit and film on my bed. That way I can actually get this video done and the items picked ready for the 1st of May tomorrow. So I am sorry, but I hope you'll bear with me. So this is my highlight drawer. This is all my powder highlights and cream highlights, and like with my blushes and bronzers, I do mainly want to focus on cream products this month. I also have a sleeping puppy with me now, so you may hear him getting a little bit ticked off that mummy's disturbing his sleep. So I'm going to take these out. These are all my highlight palettes, and then we can have a look at what's in here. So I do think I want to take a powder highlight, but mainly I want to focus on creams. And I might take 2 powder highlights actually. I have been really wanting to buy the Natasha Denona Love Glow and Bloom cheek palettes, and they have like cream blushes and cream highlights and powder highlights in there, and they're all very pink toned, and I wanted to try and dupe those palettes out to stop myself buying them. So I think I'm mainly going to pick pink toned highlighters for this month. So the first one I'm going to grab is this one from I Heart Revolution. This is the Bleeding Heart. This is more like a blush topper, but it's very similar to one of the shades in those Natasha Denona palettes. So I'm going to take that one, and then I've taken a Colourpop blush stick, and I want to get some use out of my Colourpop light sticks. So I think I'm going to go for this one. This one is Hope Street, and it's like a goldy pink shift, which I think that one will be really nice. Then I think this Soul Body one, this Colourpop Soul Body, is their sister brand. This is one of their Super Shock formulas, and it is like it's called Soft Pink. It was a release for the Valentine's collection, and I've actually never used it on my face, but I've had it for quite a while now, so I think I want to get some use out of this one. So that's 2 cream, 1 like blush topper. Do I want another cream? I think I might take maybe another, oh, maybe, I've also never used this one, the Fenty Beauty Diamond Balm. Now this isn't really in fitting with those Natasha Denona palettes, but I actually really want to get some use out of this one, so I think I'm going to pull that one. And then I think I've got 2 pinky peachy Fenty Beauty ones, so let's see if I can find those. Sorry about my disgusting sunburnt peeling palms. Ideal. So this is What a Brat from Fenty Beauty, and I think this will be beautiful as another like blush topper, so I think I'll take that one. I'm probably going a little bit overboard on the highlights, but this one, is it this one? Yeah, this one is like a peachy toned one. Girl Next Door and Chic Freak, and I think this will be a lovely like springy summery vibe to go with, so I think I'll take that as well. So that's all my like highlighty products that I want to take. So underneath here is my powder blushes and powder bronzers. I've got cream bronzers, but sometimes I do like to go in with a powder over the top to kind of set it, and the one I was thinking of going for this month is one I've had in my collection for a very long time, but I've not really used it much, and that is Nars Lagoona. This can sometimes be a little bit dark for me, but like I say, I've had it for an awful long time, and I do want to get some use out of it before it's, you know, too old. So I think I'll go for that one. And then I do want 1 or 2 powder blushes, just for the days that perhaps I don't want to go for a cream. Oh, I've got Nars Orgasm cream, and I've got this mini Nars Orgasm powder blusher, so I think I'll just whack that one in. And then maybe a peachy one. Let's have a look. I've got so many MAC powder blushes, I should probably pull one of those. It's a pinky one. That's quite a dark orange. What's that one? Oh, actually, that one. So I've got 2 here. Do I want? No, I'm not going to take both of them. I'm just going to take the one. Yeah, I'm just going to take the one. So this is Blazing Coat, and it's one of their, I think it's Extra Dimension. Yeah, Extra Dimension blushes. So I'll take that one. So here I've got all my Colourpop and BH Cosmetics palettes. Then I've got a couple more palettes and single shadows here, and then I've got the bulk of my palette storage underneath. So I know that I want to take, I've already decided a couple of the palettes that I want to take. So I want to take my Colourpop and Kathleen Lights So Jaded palette. I've had this for about a year and I've never used it. So, and I think this is going to be perfect for the theme that I'm going to do this month. I'm going to be doing like a cottage garden makeup theme, obviously, as I've already mentioned. And I've got like greens, blues, reds, some muted lavenders. So I think this one will be perfect. And then I also really want to play with this one. This is the BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles palette, and this just screams spring to me. I very nearly put it in last month's Shop My Stash because of the springy tones, but I think this one will go with my like cottage garden floral theme really well, and I'm really dying to dip into this. So I'm going to take those two, and I think I'm going to pick probably another 2 palettes. Last month I only selected 2 palettes, but I had several brand new ones in my new makeup stash bag, so I had those to fall back on. So I think I want about 4 for this month, as I've now got no more eyeshadow palettes in that new makeup bag. I was considering taking my Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette for this month, but I think I'm gonna have enough colour, like pastel toned colours, in the Lost in Los Angeles, but I do want to take a couple of single shadows from this selection. So I'm just going to move this one aside and we'll look at this one instead. So let's have a little look see. I think I want to take, when I did my eyeshadow palette declutter, this was one of the palettes that I said to my mum I really am dying to use, but I just haven't got round to using it. So I think I'm going to use this one, and even though it's more of an autumn, like fall toned palette, I do think these colours will fit really well with the theme that I've chosen, and also complement the So Jaded palette really well. So I think I'm going to take that one, and then I want something a little bit softer, because I am going to be doing like rose looks. The first eyeshadow look that I am going to be doing is Foxgloves. So I'm going to want something a little bit softer, and I think the perfect palette is actually going to be the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette. Now I really wasn't expecting to pull this one this month. I thought there was another one that I had in mind, but I do think this is going to be perfect for what I have in mind. The lavender tones, the pinky tones, I think it's going to fit in perfectly, and it's also going to give me that neutral grounding, whereas the other palettes are quite colourful. So I think that's going to be perfect, and I think that's going to be it for palettes. I would like to pull my Jawbreaker one, as I said, but I think that is going to be enough, and I don't want to overdo it and end up not using things. I don't want to take too many because I probably won't end up using them. So I just want to take a couple of like complementary shades for the ones that I've already got. And I think these MAC ones are really nice for like popping on the lid or in the waterline. They're all sort of various shades of like silvery lavender. They were from like a fairy collection that they did several years ago. I think this one is probably calling me the most. I think this is sort of got like a nudie undertone to it. Then we've got this one, which is more like silvery, like cool toned, and then this one, which is like straight up like lavender lilac. But I think I'm going to go with this one. This seems to have more of like a warmer undertone to it, and I think that'll just be nice like for the inner corner and the brow bone. So I'll take that one, and then I think I'm going to take one. Oh, actually no, I'm going to take this one. This is the MAC pigment in, I think it's Moth, yeah, Moth, and this is absolutely stunning. This is like a lovely, again, a topper shade, or just put this all over the lid and you're done. And I think it'll complement this one really nicely. They're very similar actually, it's just this one is more like glitter with like not much colour behind it, whereas this one's more of like a shimmer. So I think those two all work lovely, and I think that's it for eyeshadows. Oh, actually no, I wanted to take some of my eye crayons. I've got loads of nude sticks and Beauty Pie eye crayons, and I've never really used them, so I think I want to throw one of those, maybe one or two of those in. I think this one could be good. This one in the shade Spirit be a really nice complement to those two. I think I'll take that one. And then this one, Twilight maybe? Yeah. Maybe what's this one like? It's more goldy green. I think I'll go with the goldy green one from Beauty Pie. This is in the shade Goldie. So I'll take those two. I was thinking about these the other day because I watched a video where somebody said they dry out really quickly. Oh, mine are still fine. I think I'll save those for another one. I think I've got enough going on here already. Oh, although that one's really pretty. Oh yeah, I'm going to put that one in as well. Oh god, I'm getting a bit carried away. Yeah, right, we're going to leave it at that. So I've pulled all my lip products over onto the bed, and I've also got my caddy with eyeliners and things in. So first of all, I know setting spray wise I want to take this one, this Glisten Up from Fourth Ray Beauty, another Colourpop sister brand. I've actually never used this one. It's the only setting spray in my collection that is unused. So I'm going to put that one in. I'm not going to take any mascaras. So I don't want to take the same that I took last month, but I need to think about the themes that I've chosen. So I think I'm going to go for this lavender one from Colourpop. This is in the shade Crybaby. That one will go nicely. As well the shade teaspoon. I want to get some use out of my Colourpop liners because I'm not sure if you saw my declutter, but 2 of my Colourpop gel liners actually were broken and I had to get rid of them. So I think I want the blue one. I think I'm going to take this NYX one. This is in the shade Sunrise Blue, so I think I'll take that one. So I've got a green, a lavender and a blue. I think I'll also take just this nude one from Revolution Pro. I think that'll be nice to brighten the waterline. Then this bronzy one from Colourpop. This is in the shade Overboard. I'll take that one. And I think that's going to be it. Yeah, I think that's all I really want to take eyeliner wise. So for brows, I want to get some use out of my foolproof brow powder from Benefit. This my mum gave me because she wasn't using it. She gave it me a long time ago and I did like use this solely for a while. I think I'm actually getting a pan in it, so I just want to focus on it for another month. So I'm going to use that one, and because I've got a fringe now as well, you don't really see much of my brows. So I've got my Got To Be glued wax, but what I did miss last month was a brow gel. Because the Got To Be wax is a bit more finicky, I want something that I can just use quickly. So for that, I think I'm actually going to take my Glossier Boy Brow. This is in the shade Black, which I love dark brows with blonde hair. My eyebrows are naturally dark anyway, and this is drying up, so I just want to focus on it for a month and then I shall probably declutter it. So I'll take that one. I'm going to put this aside now and focus on the lip products, and then I can choose the lip liners to go with whatever lip products I choose. Okay, so I know straight away that I want to take a gloss from here because I really enjoyed using the gloss I had last month, and I think I want to take one of my Fenty. I think I'm just going to take the original Fenty Glow, so I'll take that one. And then I also want to take some of my crayons. This one's just jumped out at me as a really pretty pink shade. This is from Nude Sticks in the shade Rebel, and I think that will look really nice and springy. So I'll take that one. And I also think I want to take 1 or 2 of my Colourpop Just a Tint. Overexposed, so we'll go with that one. That's like a peachy one. And Chubby Bunny, which is like a nice pale pink, so I'll go for that. And now let's go for some actual lipsticks. So I know I definitely want to take a couple of my liquid lipsticks. Because I don't like liquid lipsticks, I actually don't like reaching for them, but I'm very aware that some of these are going to expire, so I want to try and get some use out of them before that happens. This is the shade Watermelon Soda. I think I'll take that one. And this one is the shade 818, which is like a nice bright peach. I think that'll go nicely. I also want to take 1 or 2 of my, I don't want to take too many lip products. I only want to take 1 or 2 more, I think. I definitely want to take one of my YSL ones though, because I'm not, oh, that is a nice one for summer. I think maybe save that for like deeper into the summer. That could be a good one, but again maybe deeper into the summer. Something a bit lighter maybe. Oh, that's a red. These, that's an orange. Oh no. That could be, I'll put that as a maybe. Oh, that's a good colour. Yeah, I think that's a definite one. No, more wintry. It's another red. Oh, that's another good colour. We'll definitely take that one. Do I even dare look at this one? No, that's an orange. So I'm going to put the one that I held as a maybe back. And now let's, I don't think I want any of these ones. But I think I want to take a MAC one. And I've got in mind one or two that I want to pull from here. I think I'll just take 2 MAC ones and call it a day. I feel like I've taken way too much this month, but we'll just go through it when I've got everything out, and if I want to put anything back I can put it back. So I wanted to take this one because again this is an older product in my collection, so I'm going to take that one. And I am aware I've not pulled a nude, but I have got the Overexposed Just a Tint and the Fenty gloss, so I think that'll do me for nudes. Those are the ones I've just had. Oh, this one could be a good one. This is the shade Girl About Town. I think I'll take that one as well. So that's it for my lipsticks. Now let's pick lip liners to go with those. These are them. So I thought, here's my pink one that I've just noticed. It's Maxor. Then I've got this nudie pink, is the shade Hex from Melt Cosmetics. And then I've got 2 from Colourpop Cosmetics. I've got the shade BFF3 and Flattered. Is it Flattered or Flattened? Yeah, Flattered. So I thought those would give me sort of a nice range to go with the lipsticks that I've chosen. I have a lot of darker lip liners because I really like that kind of 90s like grungy lip look, like an ombre lip. So I'm hoping I can make these work with like the brighter lipsticks that I've chosen. So that's everything chosen. Okay guys, I've got everything in. It's a little bit haphazard because obviously there is quite a few products, but I can't quite bring myself to put anything back. So what I'm probably going to do is have another little play once I've finished this video and see if I can get it in any better. But I really just want to try all of these products, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. My palettes fit fine, the lid will close, so everything fits in fine. I just probably haven't put it, you know, away in the best, oh crikey, I haven't put things away to the best of my ability, but we'll see how I get on next month when I give feedback on all of these items. I would imagine that my feedback next month is going to be that I took too much and need to take less. So anyway, thanks very much for watching this month's Shop My Stash. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a like if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you like these kinds of videos. Keep loving yourself, keep loving each other. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.